Well, Dr. King, here you hear Carolyn giving us important information to millions of people. But what popped up in my mind was if the parents can't give you the warning signs and clearly the child was not listening, if you're a parent listening to the show, what do you do? Because Carolyn's saying she got the signs. Her family was telling her. What
Not
do
only
you
that,
do?
she lived through it.
She lived through it. So the family is telling her, look, you're in a controlling relationship. This is what's going on. So if I'm a family member listening to the show, I'm like, okay, what am I doing? My child is not listening to me. What do you do?
As a loved one?
Yes.
Again, it's interesting that you bring this up. We have a program. It's a family violence intervention program in which it's usually inspired by a family member, by either the mother or the father or a sibling. And it's all about how to shake that person awake and how to engage them in a therapeutic process so that they either leave the relationship or involve the perpetrator in appropriate therapy. And I think that in answer to your question, in Carolyn's situation, it sounds like she just had a mind of her own and threw a deaf ear at the recommendations. There are very strategic ways to bridge professional information with family love so that you get that person to listen. And that's what the program is all about.
So are you saying that the family member would then first need to have some level of understanding, education about the dynamics of domestic violence, and then use that to bring the person into counseling?
Well, let me make a bit of a modification there.
Okay.
It's not the family member. What you're bridging, what we do on our program is we take the professional expertise and we bridge it with the family love. We don't expect the family love to carry the professional expertise because they literally cannot do that.
Right.
And the reason they can't do that is because their relationship with the victim carries its own components. And oftentimes, no matter what the parents will say to the child is not listening to the objective reality. Mm-hmm. They're interacting with the parent through the dynamics of their relationship.
Understood.
So you can't expect the parent to really be successful by themselves.
Right.
But if they bring in expertise and you bridge the family love with the professional expertise, you have a far better chance of getting the victim to wake up.
Well, speaking of expertise, Dr. King, it's certainly been a pleasure having you because I as a researcher myself in around this subject matter, I really enjoy how you've been able to just lay out the elements around this issue. Tell us a little bit more about your program and the work that you do to help prevent and end domestic violence.
We work with individuals worldwide who are in abusive relationships. Some of these people are looking to get out of the relationship. Some of these people are looking to change the relationship. We have a program that's called the Intimate Partner Abuse Treatment Program that provides a psychoeducational component for the perpetrator and a psychotherapeutic component for the victim. And the work is carried out both individually and as a couple. It's basically domestic abuse intervention in the context of relationship therapy.
Which is interesting and very different when you
do it on the telephone.
Interesting.
That's one program.
Give us your
website. You can find that at preventabusiverelationships.com and just click on services.
Do you
the
have
other thing we have for people who can't afford professional care or really want to keep confidential is we have a membership program. It's the Prevent Abusive Relationships membership, and on either of our sites, you can go to it through articles by Dr. King or either of the sites.